Foxtrot. This is Echo Alpha 1, Bravo Charlie Sierra. Echo Alpha 1, Bravo Charlie Sierra. Echo Alpha number 1, Bravo Charlie Sierra. Over.
Yeah, Echo Alpha 1, Bravo Charlie Sierra. Very good afternoon to you, sir, and thank you for coming back to my call. My name is Mark, that's Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo, and I'm in the southeast of England, about 20 kilometres southeast from the city of London. I'll give you your report on the next over. Echo Alpha 1, Bravo Charlie Sierra. This is Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot.
Yes, good evening, Mark. In the surroundings of London, Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, Echo Alpha 1, Bravo Charlie Sierra, coming back. Your signal report in the northern is 4 by 5. The conditions are not very good. I suffer from heavy background noise as I live in downtown with a lot of electric noise, electric devices. But I can understand, Mark. Thanks to you for this conversation. I was afraid that the sporadic aid would never come. My name is Alf, like Alpha Lima Foxtrot, Alpha Lima Foxtrot. And my location is, as I told you before, the northern coast of Spain, a seaport named Gijón. I spell Golf, India, Juliet, Oscar, November. A seaport with about 250,000 people. So back to you. Do you still copy, Mark? Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, Echo Alpha 1, Bravo Charlie Sierra.
Yeah, Echo Alpha 1, Bravo Charlie Sierra, Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot returning. Alpha, copy you very well today. Thanks for the call. Copy you 5 and 3. With QSB, you do peak 5 and 5 and then drop down to 5 and 2. So 5 and 3 for the logbook. Thank you for my 4x5. I understand you have a local QR Mexico. I have local QR Mexico today, but only S1, only Santiago 1. So you're well above that and very easy to hear you. Today, Alf, I'm using a IC-7300 by ICOM. I'm using a 5/8 wave vertical antenna. And my power, probably about 120, maybe 130 watts into a dummy load. So about 110 watts, 120 watts maybe from the back of the radio. So that's the story, Alf. But yeah, copying you very well. The signals, my band scope shows not very many signals and all very weak. You're by far the strongest one to call me today. So there you go. Gracias, mi amigo. Echo Alpha 1, Bravo Charlie Sierra, Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Fox.
Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, Echo Alpha 1, Bravo Charlie Sierra returning. 100%, Mark. Everything all right, despite the noise. Everything copied and understood. And congratulations on your icon with more than 100 watts and your vertical antenna. We are using the same polarization as my vertical antenna is high gain. It is placed on the roof of a building of five stages. A multi-bander from high gain and the vertical polarization. And the equipment, the rig is Yaesu ST991A. ST991A at its maximum power, which is 100 watts. The microphone is the desk microphone from Yaesu. And this is a simple story here. And I can add the information about the weather, which is really fine today, with a mild temperature of 25 degrees, and the sun is actually shining. So a good evening, afternoon, till afternoon, to have a walk or to go to the beach, because we have a nice beach, 2 kilometers long. Well, Mark, thanks for this nice and unexpected contact. I wish you all the best from the north of Spain, and I hope that we will be able to contact again. This is my wish. Mike Zero, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, Bravo Charlie Sierra.
Yeah, EA8 BCS M0JCF. Well, that was absolutely fantastic, Alf. Your signal quite all of the time was going up to 5 and 5 and then dropping back to 5 and 3. For my logbooks, and I log you on QRZ, 5 and 3. But very, very easy to hear you. And the Fox Tango 991 Alpha working very, very well today, doing you a good service. I'm sure that you will work other UK stations. The sporadic E cloud is above the Bay of Biscay and Western France. So there's an E cloud over the Bay of Biscay and Western France. So you should get signals like mine from the north of England to the south of England down into your region of Spain on the north coast. Fantastic to speak to you. I wish you and your family best 73. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your time on the radio. I wish also give you the Whiskey X-ray here. We have the same temperature. We have about 25, 26 degrees. It's been a beautiful sunny day, and I've been making a fence in my garden. So that's what I was doing earlier. It was a good day. We've had lots of rain this week, which was very much needed, but now the sun is here for the weekend and everyone will be smiling. I say gracias, mi amigo, and adios, and hasta la vista. 73, bye-bye.
Okay, Mark, 100% again. I am glad that to hear that you are enjoying also a beautiful day today. Enjoy it, so, and yes, my best 73 for you, and I am thankful for this nice chatting on 10 meters on this perhaps a little weak sporadic heat. Well, let's see what happens with the propagation. Have a nice weekend too, Mark. My pleasure. Mike Zero, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, Echo Alpha 1, Bravo Charlie Sierra Clear. Adiós, hasta pronto, gracias.
Gracias, mi amigo. Adios. QRZ, Mike Zero, Juliet, Charlie, Foxtrot, southeast of England. Nothing is heard. CQ10. Okay, I've got Echo Alpha 3, Delta Yankee. I'm missing the last letter, but no problem, we'll get you in the book. You are very weak though. My name is Mark, that's Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo, and I'm in the southeast of England, about 20 kilometres southeast from the city of London. So let's try to get you in the book today. I'll be listening for your call sign, and then I'll give you a report. Echo Alpha 3, Delta Yankee, question mark. This is Mike Zero, Juliet Charlie Fox. Yeah, Echo Alpha 3, Delta Yankee Tango. Just a 5 and 1 for you today, sir. 5 and 1. You are very weak, but I got your report, and it's great to get you in the logbook today. The sporadic E is very weak today, very weak. There are not many signals, and they are all very weak when they do come in. But as I say, my name is Mark, Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo, and I'm in the southeast of England, about 20 kilometres southeast from the city of London. Back to you, sir. Echo Alpha 3, Delta Yankee Tango, Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot. Okay, Echo Alpha 3, Delta Yankee Tango, Antonio. Very, very difficult to hear you now. Your signal, even with my preamp on, your signal has dropped just down to a 3 and 1, maybe a 2 and 1. I only heard a few words of that, but I have you in my logbook. That's no problem. And I look forward to working you again. I don't think we'll have a long QSO today, but if you can hear me, just to let you know, I'm using a 5/8 wave vertical antenna. I'm using an IC-7300 and about 120 watts from the back of the radio itself. But I wish you and your family 73. I say adios, mi amigo, and gracias. Until next time, hasta la vista. Okay, nothing more is heard. If you can hear me, Antonio, thank you again, and good luck, and look forward to the next time. QRZ, Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, southeast of England. Okay, nothing is heard. CQ. Yeah, Echo Alpha 1, Foxtrot Whiskey Juliet. Very good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you for calling me. My name is Mark. That's Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo. And I'm just 20 kilometres southeast of the city of London. And I'll give you a report on the next over. So, Echo Alpha 1, Foxtrot Whiskey Juliet. This is Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot.
Hello, Mark. Hello. Your signal report in the north part of Spain in this moment is Santiago 5959. I copy you very, very well. My operator name is Emilio. Echo Mike India Lima India Oscar Emilio. And you speak with the small city town Navia, November Alpha Victor India Alpha. In the province of Asturias. Roger, my friend.
Now, Echo Alpha 1, Foxtrot Whiskey Juliet, Emilio, thank you for the 5 and 9. You are 5 and 8 to me today, Emilio, 5 and 8, and a very good audio. I'm using an IC-7300 by ICOM. I'm using the Sierra Mic 20 microphone, desk microphone by ICOM. About 120, 125 watts from the back of the radio. And my antenna is very simple, just a vertical 5/8 wave vertical, just an aluminium rod. So that's the story, Emilio. Back to you, sir. EA1 FWJ M0 JCF.
Okay, Mark, okay. Congratulations for your antenna, working very, very well, my friend. My antenna is a cubical antenna. It's made in Spain. It's a big signal. Its name is Skyline. My radio in this moment is ragchew FTDX 1222, and my phone 100 watts, the power of the radio, and the microphone is the microphone signal to the radio. Roger, my friend Mark.
Absolutely fantastic, Emilio. Well, it's working very, very well, and you should be very pleased with that today. I'll give you some whiskey x-ray today, Emilio. We're having a very Spanish weather today, only about 25, 26 degrees. It is a very warm day though, but we have lots of blue skies. We've had rain all this week, and today's the first lot of sunshine, which allowed me to work building a fence in the garden. So that was my day today before coming on the radio, Emilio. Back to you, EA1 FWJ M0 JCF.
Okay, my friend Mark. Here, today, very good day. 21 degrees in this moment. Sunny day, and some not very much clouds in the sky. It's more windy in this moment. But here is the climate similar your country, United Kingdom. Asturias, all the time is raining. It's the north of Spain, and the climate here similar United Kingdom. Roger, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Well, that's the way, you know. When in England, we have a lot of rain, we have a lot of wind, we have a lot of cold weather. So it's very nice when the sun comes out. We have had a few weeks now with the Whiskey X-ray was 30 plus degrees. So 30 degrees, 32 degrees, 33 degrees. It was very hot for many weeks. And so this last week of rain was very, very good. But today it's good again. Well, I hope you have a fantastic time on the radio, Emilio. We're having lots of contacts now from Spain, from the north of Spain. There is a big sporadic E-cloud over the Bay of Biscay and over western France. So you should get many contacts back into England now. So can I wish you and your family very best 73. I say gracias, mi amigo, and adios. Hasta la vista. Good luck.
Okay, Mark, thank you very much for hearing my call. I send for you all the best from here, from España. 73 and 51. Have a good weekend. Excuse me for my horrible English, no, it's very good. I study very much in the school. 73 Mark, Mike 0, Juliet, Charlie Foxtrot. Say goodbye to you, Echo Alpha 1 Foxtrot, Whiskey Juliet. Goodbye, my friend. Thank you. Adios, amigo.
Adios, amigo, and gracias, grande gracias. QRZ, Mike 0, Juliet, Charlie, Foxtrot, southeast of England, listening.
Echo X-ray Golf.
Yeah, Florida 6, Echo X-ray Golf. Very good afternoon to you, sir. Merci beaucoup. Je m'appelle Mark, Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo. J'habite Sidcup dans le Kent, 20 km sud de Londres. Apologies for my very poor and limited Française. Foxtrot 6, Echo X-ray Golf. This is Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Fox.
Foxtrot 6, Echo X-ray Golf, England X-ray Germany. Bonjour Marc, merci de m'avoir répondu. Thank you very much for coming back to me. You have QRZ Bravo, speaking S8, S858 in the seat. Name is Roland, Romeo Oscar, Lima Alpha November Delta. Roland is my name. QTH is Nice in southeastern France, November India Charlie Echo. So back to you there in chance. Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, Foxtrot 6, Echo X-ray Golf.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that, Roland. And it's very nice to be giving you 5 and 8. You are very weak to me today, though, Roland. Just 5 and 1. The return signal, just 5 and 1. But I can hear every word that you say, despite your signal being right on my Santiago 1 noise floor. Today, Roland, we're using an IC-7300 by ICOM. I'm also using the ICOM desk microphone, the Sierra Mic 20. I'm using a 5/8 wave vertical antenna, and when I measured my power at this frequency into a dummy load some weeks ago, I was seeing about 130 watts, so probably about 120 watts, maybe a bit less, maybe a bit more, going to the antenna backwards from the radio. Absolutely no linear amplifier, just a pure radio. So that's the story, Roland. That's what we're using. So back to you, F6 EXG M0 JCF.
M0 JCF, returning. Yeah, very fine copy, although the signal has dropped a little bit, but I'm still able to copy you, Mark. I'm running the icon 70. The microphone is Sierra Mic 50 SM50, and the antenna is also vertical from iGain multiband vertical antenna, which is above the ground. So running about 80 watts at the moment on the back of the transceiver. WX is Saudi and temperature around 25 degrees centigrade. 90 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, Florida 6 Echo, X-ray.
Yeah, F6EXG-M0JCF. Oh, nice to see your signal peaking just about 5 and 3, but the QSB really is keeping it low today, Roland. I'm seeing a sporadic E cloud that has formed over the Bay of Biscay and eastern France. So probably the cloud that is giving us the propagation, but it's not strong. It seems to be strong in your direction, but certainly not back over my direction. I'm also seeing on the map a small cloud that maybe has formed just near the border with Switzerland, and that is possibly as well giving us the propagation. It's never an exact science, but it is very interesting to me. I always enjoy watching on the internet the way that the clouds move around and form and reform. Whiskey X-ray here. Well, I think we have southeastern France weather today. We have about 25, maybe 26 degrees Celsius, lots of blue skies, some cloud, but mainly blue sky. It's been a very warm but very humid day, Roland. We've had rain most of this week, which we needed. We really did need that rain, but now the weekend's coming, we need the sunshine back. So that's the story, Roland. F6EXG-M0JCF.
M0JCF at 60 returning. Yeah, it's the other way around. Here we need some water for the garden because the trees and so on are very having a hard time with the temperature and the water. So sometimes I water the garden, but not too much. Water is rather expensive here. Okay, thanks. Okay for the cloud. Yeah, I just come from the city. There was a station from Sardinia, but I'm not sure whether it's for E or the prosperity over the Mediterranean Sea propagation type. But the QSB is rather deep at the moment, from 58 down to 51, so it's amazing. Okay, Mark, so I'm glad to have talked to you this afternoon. Thank you very much for the QSO, and I hope to have with you again on this band in conditions. So back to you there, M0JCF at 60XG.
Yeah, F6EXG-M0JCF. Ah, merci beaucoup, Roland. And great to get you in the logbook for the first time on 10 meters. I'm sure we could work very, very well on 40 meters. I do have an easy time with Europe on 40 using just a random long wire. So I like the challenge with sporadic E to work Europe. Of course, on 10 meters via Fox 2 layer, I very rarely work Europe, especially the closer countries to the UK, such as France, Belgium, the Netherlands, and sometimes the north of Spain. I do find it difficult to work those countries without sporadic E on 10. So it's lovely to get you in the logbook. I wish you and your family a fantastic weekend. Wish that you have a great time. And yeah, excuse me. Yeah, we do need the rain, but the sunshine is good as well. But for the farmers and for my fruit trees, yeah, the rain is good sometimes. I like it at night. When I'm asleep, it can rain all night long, no problem. Okay, merci beaucoup, and I say au revoir, mon ami. 73, take care. Très bien.
M0 JCF F6 XG pour le final. Il y a des nuages noirs qui approchent. Some dark clouds are coming around, so maybe we will have some rain, hopefully. Merci beaucoup pour le QSO, Marc 73. Bon week-end à vous et au plaisir de se retrouver sur 10 mètres. Thank you very much for this very good QSO 73. Have a nice weekend, Marc. M0 JCF F6 clear and QSY. Au revoir, mon ami.
Au revoir, mon ami. Merci beaucoup. QRZ, Mike 0, Juliet, Charlie, Foxtrot, southeast of England. Okay, nothing is heard. CQ10. Echo Alpha 1, Echo Sierra Whiskey. Thank you for this call, sir. You're not very strong, but I will give you a report on the next over. But my name is Mark. That's Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo. And I'm 20 kilometres southeast from the city of London. So back to you, sir. Echo Alpha 1, Foxtrot Sierra Whiskey. This is Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot.
Window. You see it? 5-8.
Okay, Alberto, if you can hear me, thank you for the 5 and 8. It was very difficult to hear you. You were about a 5 and 1, 5 and 2, and then the QSB dropped your signal to readability 3, so just a 3 and 1. It's up and down at this moment. Today, Alberto, I'm using a 5/8 wave vertical antenna, so a very simple antenna. I'm using 120 watts from the back of my radio, and the radio is an IC-7300 by ICOM. So that's the story, Alberto. I'll give you a 5 and 1 at this time. Thank you for the 5 and 8. Back to you. Echo Alpha 1, Echo Sierra Whiskey. This is Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot. Okay, Alberto, if you can still hear me, I've lost you, sir. I've lost you. Your signal dropped 1 and 1. Your signal has dropped 1 and 1, but I have you in my logbook and I have logged you on QRZ. I say gracias, mi amigo, and I say adios and hasta la vista. 73, good luck. Okay, QRZ, Mike 0, Juliet, Charlie, Foxtrot, southeast of England. And nothing is heard, CQ.
Are you?
Okay, I got Foxtrot HB9. I think it was HBU. I may have got that wrong. Apologies for that. We will correct that for you in a moment. My name is Mark. That's Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo. And I'm in the southeast of England, about 20 kilometres southeast from the city of London. So over to you, and let's see if I've got that call sign correct. I don't believe I did. Foxtrot /HB9 HBU M0 JCF.
Okay, Mark, correct master 6 is HIU. Foxtrot stroke HB9 HIU. Hotel India Uniform.
Yeah, I've got that correct now. And interesting, you can tell me where you are possibly. But my name is Mark, Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo, 20 kilometres southeast of the city of London. And today I'm using 120 watts from the ICOM IC-7300. I'm using a 5/8 wave vertical antenna. And I'm using, well, just as I say, a very simple setup. But I'm sure I have your name, Biagio. Is that Biagio? Would I be correct for that? Anyway, I'm sure you can tell me. Foxtrot / HB9 Hotel India Uniform. This is Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot.
Okay, Mark, yes, you're 100% right. It's Biagio, and my local CQ now it's near Montélimar. France, Montélimar, and your signal is 5/7. Your signal is 5/7. Can you please give my signal back to you, Mark?
Absolutely fantastic, Biagio. Well, you're peaking 5 and 2 to me, 5 and 2. I have tried using the preamp. It brings you up to 5 and 5, but because your signal's very low, it also brought up the noise floor that is just behind you. But we have you in the logbook, absolutely no problems. And I was wondering if you know the locator, the actual locator of where you are today, sir. Back to you.
Oh, yes, okay, just a minute. I will check my locator after 120 now. I will check now. Just a minute, and I've got my locator. Juliet, November 24, Juliet Oscar. Juliet, November 24, Juliet Oscar, QSL Mark.
Yeah, QSL, absolutely fantastic, Biagio. I put that in my paper logbook, and then I will log you as Foxtrot / HB9 HIU on QRZ, and I just wanted to put the correct locator in. And it's always good to talk to people that have gone outside of their country. Tell me, Biagio, are you there for a holiday? Are you working, or are you relocating? Back to you.
Okay, no, we got here a house for holiday, a big house with a swimming pool, and we are now about 20 people. We just rent this house for 1 week, and we're all together here for the holiday. But to you,
Okay, not sure if you stopped transmitting. Foxtrot / HB9 HIU M0 JCF returning. Well, it sounds like you're going to have a fantastic week holiday there. I think you said 9 people. That sounds fantastic and a lot of fun. The QSB isn't helping us today. It's not on our side. Definitely dropping your signal to readability 3, Santiago 1. So I won't hold it with you, Biagio. I say have a fantastic holiday. And enjoy yourself both on the radio and off the radio. The swimming pool sounds fantastic. I look forward to another contact with you, especially when you're back home in HB9 land. But until then, can I wish you, your family and all of your friends around that swimming pool a very wonderful weekend. Enjoy that time that you have there, and I look forward to speaking to you again. And I say bye-bye, 73, good luck. Foxtrot HB9 HIU M0 JCF.
Okay, lots of change on your signal, Mark, and yeah, thank you for all your wishes. I wish you all the best on the show. And I just wonder, it's you or on the photo with the moto, on the racing moto, it's you?
Yeah, QSL, that was me, but about 10 years ago now, I used to drag race the standing start quarter mile, and we built that bike about 15 years ago, and yeah, it was a Suzuki from 1990, but with a turbocharger, so it was 340 brake horsepower, very, very fast in a straight line. Biagio, back to you.
Okay.
fantastic, and just have a look at your Cruzetoscope page, and see you collect feature all stuff, and I think you're also a good electroniker. Okay, thank you again, Mark, and sending you my 73, and all the best. Back to you, Mark.
Ah, fantastic. Yeah, your signal came back up out the noise, so very to hear the last two contacts, or last two overs. Just for your information, if you have a pen or you want to make a note, I do have a YouTube channel. I have recorded this QSO, Biagio. I was going to upload them all with individual, like all of the QSOs together, but I will upload this one, if you would like, as an individual one, so you can hear how you sounded coming into the United Kingdom on your setup on holiday. And the channel is just called M0JCF Ham Radio. Very simple channel, just has my videos on there that I use for storage. So you may this evening find yourself there, if that's okay with you. I will put it up as a separate video, and you can find yourself. I will tag you in the subject. So I wish you good luck, old friend, and thank you again. F HB9 HIU M0JCF. Cheers, mate. Yeah, Foxtrot / HB9 HIU. Totally lost you now, Biagio. Absolutely gone. Disappeared. 0-0 or 1-1. But cannot hear you anymore. But if you can hear me, thank you again and good luck. Best wishes. QRZ Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, southeast of England. Nothing is heard. CQ.
Nice to hear you, though, from G3RGS.
G3RGS M0JCF. Hello there, mate. No, always welcome. I was only doing a basic CQ. I'll talk to any old duffer anywhere, mate. He says, tongue in cheek, aging himself. Now he's gone past 60. I suppose I now go into the same crowd, don't I? I'm in the same camp. But no, joking aside, mate, how you doing and what you've been up to? And before you ask me, it's all been Spain and France that I've been working the last, well, I suppose, hour or so. Back to you.
Yeah, from G3RGS. Yeah, I saw your note, actually. From Golf 3 Romeo Golf Sierra. Name is Dave, yeah. Yeah, good to hear you. Yeah, nice signal, nice audio, nice signal, about 5 and 8. You wouldn't expect very strong signals at this sort of distance, but yeah, I've had a listen around the band, not hearing too much. As you say, some Europeans, been playing around on 20 metres, but again, not a lot going on. A few stations down into the Mediterranean and a couple into Russia, as you would expect, but otherwise not working a lot at all, not worked anything special of late. Last CX I worked was into VK, and that was, well, I don't know, on the 17th, so bands generally not been brilliant, but fun, aren't they? And 10 metres has been, looking at some good openings in Europe, a lot of Scandinavians coming in. But otherwise, not doing much at all. Running 3-element tri-bands are still without the moment 500 watts, something like that. But as I say, otherwise, not doing too much. Just having a poke around and seeing what was going on. Just about to close off, actually, when I thought I'll quickly check 10, and I heard you calling CQ. So I won't keep you. Looks like you're doing all right from your note there. M0JCF G3RGS.
G3RGS M0JCF returning. Well, Dave, you're I think you said your tri-bander is, and do you say it's 3 elements on 10? Maybe I misheard that. Yeah, it's doing well. I mean, you're 5 and 8 to me as well. So considering I'm using a vertical, and it sounds like you may be using horizontal, considering we're working the ground wave with a hump in between us. No, it isn't too bad, is it? You know, but I'd imagine that more than likely your antenna's got all the gain in both directions. I'm running the IC-7300 here, and I measured it the other day, 100% on 28,450 was giving me 130 watts into a dummy load, so probably about 110, 120 watts up to the antenna. And I think the antenna's got a reliable 3 dB again, gives you an idea of me ERP. But of course, being vertical, it's going everywhere, and you've got the square law or whatever it's called, haven't you? You know, as it radiates out, by the time it reaches someone, we're down to microwatts, so it's all relative. But yeah, I was actually out today. The last year I've replaced all of the fence down the side of my garden, about 85 feet of it, and this year I've got to do the bottom of the garden. But like a lot of people's bottoms of the garden, if it's like mine, neglected, and we've got an alleyway behind us that I've got no access to, it's for the next parallel street along. Our fence there, I mean, we've been in this house 2003 we moved in, so we've been in here 22, 23 years, and I've never maintained the back fence. All I've done is every time we took fence panels out, and especially last year when we replaced the whole fence, I was using the best panels, and inverted commas, to slot down behind the summer house and the shed, being held up by the summer house and shed, and I was gradually replacing the fence at the bottom as it has fallen down over 20 years. So I went out there today, you know, it's totally overgrown with brambles and grapevines. We always get good grapes off that every year. But anyway, I had a look round there, and you can't see the back of my property from it because of the grapevines and that. But I thought I'd best pull some of it back and have a look. And there was obviously 20 years worth of old fence panels that were gradually being devoured by bugs and God knows what else. Plus there's there was a lot of old rubble and that over the years I've just tipped behind the summer house, out of sight and out of mind. So I've been out there today. I had a trip to the dump with the back of the car almost on the bottoms of the springs. I took a lot of rubble and a lot of old fence posts and bits of panel and that down the dump. It's going to be a 2 or 3 job, you know, to the dump, and then the final job will be I'll have to cut back, sadly, until next year when it grows back. I've got to cut back all of the grapevines and the brambles. I had some beautiful blackberries off it this year, but that's another story. I've got to cut all that back. Then I'll put in some fence panels. I only want 3 or 4 fence panels. I've got to go in there, so I've got to get all this out of the way. That way I can also then get back to the back of the summer house, which hasn't had any maintenance for at least 15 years, and you could see that all of the stain has gone. It's gone back to the, you know, bare wood. There's gaps in places. Luckily I've got a membrane on the inside of the summer house with insulation, and then I plasterboarded it and wallpapered it, so you know you don't see any nasties coming through. So that's what I was up to. So I just decided then, you know what, I'll have a quick go on the radio. The DX maps was showing quite a large cloud over the Bay of Biscay, and I think that's what gave me all of my northern northern Spain and southern France. So yeah, I'm just working sporadic E. You say about 20 meters as well. I don't often go to 20. I think I went to 20 once or twice last week to work some special stations. If I just check my logbook, yeah, I've been on 20 meters 3 times in the last 2 years probably. I worked Emma, you did the field day, so I worked Emma on 17 meters. I worked GB9 RCV on 20 meters. I then worked a 2M1 ADM on 20, because you don't often get Scotland on such short skip. And then I worked a 9 Alpha / S53. So what's that, Serbia, but he was in Croatia, or the other way. No, that's the way round. So he was on holiday there. In fact, I think he was in Iota. He was one of the islands. So that's the only 20 meters I've really done. So I don't tend to work DX on 20 meters because the only antenna that I've got up for it is my random long wire. Now it's great on 40 meters and below. It's sort of so-so on 20. I can work the USA and South America, etc. 20 meters, but I've never really explored, can I get a sort of a double or triple hop round to Oceania. But I'll just stick on 10 meters until 10 meters isn't viable for DX. Then I'll just use it for sporadic E again, like I did before we came into this solar maximum. So when I first got licensed. Anyway, bit of a long old ramble there, giving you my life story. G3 RGS, Dave over there, Brands Hatch Way, M0 JCF, nowhere near Brands Hatch.
Yeah, fine, Mark. M0 JCF, G3 RGS, yeah. Oh, yeah, beautiful signal for whatever. the antenna, the vertical is working out well for you there. And, yeah, I think, you know, as the next couple of years go by, you might find that in 2 or 3 or 4 years you'll find 10 meters really struggling. So, apart from a sporadic period, which may well still be about, you might want to try and put something up on 20. You know, this height is always a problem, isn't it? But I remember some time ago on top band, where, you know, height is a real issue, isn't it? I put up an inverted L, I guess you'd call it, and that worked really well. It had a vertical section and then a top section to load it a bit, which I just took down the garden. I suppose it's about 150 foot all in all length, and that's very inductive at that length. But yeah, I did a quick measurement on the input impedance to it, and it was inductive. I can't remember what the numbers were now, but I then calculated the capacitors I'd need of the same inductance to take it out, the same reactance rather, to cancel out the inductive reactance, and made up half a dozen of those in parallel, and just fed it from a bit of, in series, from a bit of coax. And that worked really well on top band. In fact, the only time I've really tried anything serious on top band, and I managed to work an American station on top band, would you believe, on phone. It was a bit of a struggle. It was in a contest, and I could only use 32 watts at the time. It was not because of the contest, but because it was in that bit of the band which only allows that low power. But I did manage to work a station in New York, which was quite remarkable, I thought. The point I was making there was you could use an inverted L for 20 meters and get it as high as you can vertically, and then load it with a bit extra. I think if it's about 130 degrees long, or 125, 130 degrees long, whatever that is on 20 meters, you might find it works quite well. I did put some radials down as well in the garden, just slung wires down, but that worked well. You okay on your fencing? Yeah, I've had problems like that, mate, over the years. In fact, when we moved here, I had the same sort of problem, and they got rid of it and put up one of these enclosed, like plastic enclosed fences, wire fences, with wire squares. Touch wood, it's still there, and that was 15 years ago, 20 years ago. It's still there. I was looking at it the other day. I think it's holding on. I hope it holds on a bit longer. Nice to have the grapevine. That's rather nice, isn't it? Have something like that in the garden. Don't have anything like that. Planted a few apple trees over the year, but they're not up to much, but can get apples from them. But it's one of those things when you have to do these things, you eventually get round to them. Yeah, I've got a few trips to make to the dump as well. In fact, so many I'm thinking it might be better to get a skip in, but I'll leave that for another day. I think you've got other fruit there. You mentioned blackberries. Yeah, how nice. And summer house repair as well. Yeah, you've got a lot on. My shack's in like a summer house down the garden, and that needs some repair as well. It's probably been up here 12 years. And it's made of like a really solid wood, so I haven't had to line it. But I'm going to have to do something with it. So like you, I've got jobs like that to do. I'll get around to it sometime. I hope. Yeah, okay, on 10 though. 10's a great band, isn't it? And, you know, in another few months it'll be open again for the DX if you're interested in that. And that'll be some fun again. But at the moment, 10 and 15, not brilliant, are they? And 20, you can work some DX on. Got to get up earlier than I normally get up. I don't normally get up here till about 9 o'clock in the shack, or even later. By which time most of the DX is gone, although I'd say I worked a few VKs a few weeks ago, and other stations, the E51 station, Paul Ratunga, I think that is, in the South Pacific. So I have managed to do something on that band, but yeah, it is using the beam, and I think that probably does help. Now I'm rattling on, mate. What about you? I won't keep you then, mate. I only was about to go. I was coming up the shack, having some round. Was about to go down when I saw your note, and I thought, well, I'll nip up there and see what you're up to. M0 JCF G3RGS.
Yeah, G3RGS M0 JCF returning. Well, you know, it's horses for courses, isn't it? I'm a very, very lazy antenna man. In fact, this is how lazy I am. Last November, I took down my 9-element 2-meter beam. I took it down off the rotator, and I'll tell you, Nathan, the M7 over Orpington Way, he bought it off me. And what I was going to replace it with was a 10-meter band Moxon. So, you know, a 2-element beam, just to sort of, you know, play about with it. Well, have I built one? Of course I haven't. Have I put it up? Of course I haven't. And will I? Well, probably. Yeah. The pole is still there on the side of the house with the rotator. I've got the rotator controller right in front of me face now, all wired up. You can switch it on, it all lights up, the needle moves across. I think it's pointing east. Yeah, it's pointing east. So that's all I've got to do, is just make a wire Moxon. That's what I'm going to do. I'll do it before the equinox in the autumn, so that after the equinox, when the Yanks start to come in, I'm missing just 7 states now. But, you know, the Yanks are great for rag chewing, so I like to rag chew with them. Australians are the same. I have good rag chew with them. Never worked New Zealand, so I'm looking forward to pointing it southeast. Well, either way, actually, I'll go long path, short path, and work New Zealand. That will be quite interesting. That will tick a box for me. And the idea is, Dave, is when we come out of this cycle, maybe about 2027, when the cycle sort of dips low enough that 10 meters isn't viable for DX, I'm probably going to convert it to a 15-meter band Moxon. So I've got a 15-meter band, 2-element beam, effectively, just to play about with. I think 15 meters is great because it's got very similar characteristics to both 10 and 20, but it's a big band and it doesn't get crowded. You know, the thing is with 20 meters, it gets crowded, and of course we're on Europe's doorstep. You know, it does get crowded with the big boys where they're multi-kilowatts and 7-element beams and all that land and countryside around them. You know, bearing in mind I'm in an urban area. I mean, I've got an unusually large garden for, you know, where we live, so I'm lucky in that sense. But yeah, I'll probably do that. I'll probably put up the 10-meter band Moxon, then I'll put up the 15-meter band Moxon. I think a 20-meter band will start to get physically a little bit too large, and the station manager had a problem with the 9-element beam, those bloody monkey bars as she called them. And she was quite right. Antennas are ugly things, which is why, you know, I've got a vertical for 10 and I use it on 12. I've got me vertical for 2 meters, 70 centimeters, and the long wire, well, that's an inverted U, so it's 90 feet long, so it's not resonant really anywhere. And with the tuner, I find it works, you know, well enough on 20, but on the lower bands, of course, it works, but it's an Envis antenna because it's not that high. And I even use it on top band, on the top band net once a month. And, you know, I have worked Europe. I've worked as far north as the Orkneys on 160. I've worked into Europe as far as Russia with it on 160, and I've worked the near continent almost no problem, and quite a big chunk of the UK. So for what I do with amateur radio, Dave, and for the length of time that I've been doing it, for me it's good enough. I'm happy. I don't get hung up with antennas and antenna theory and antenna building and that. It's like I've had a long wire antenna up since the early 70s when I started shortwave listening and building crystal sets, and so wherever I moved to, whichever house we've had, whether I was with my parent or the house that I've always bought with my wife, I've always put a long wire of some sort up. And because when I got licensed in 2017, the long wire was there, so a 9-to-1 unun went on it, and it worked, and as I say, I'm happy with that. I'm more interested the other side of amateur radio construction, me, old radios, homebrew, that sort of thing, low power stuff, bit of QRP, that's all good fun. And one bit of DX I did work, was it this week? When was it? It was on the 22nd. I was calling CQ, and I got loads of sporadic E stuff. Then all of a sudden I was getting Kilo India 6 Lima Tango. I thought, Kilo India 6, surely not this time of the year on 10 metres. So I looked him up on QRZ, and he was really weak to me. It was really difficult, but he was constantly calling in, and I was thinking to myself, what are you on about? He's KI6LT/. Then I heard him say portable, so I thought, right, well, his call sign's in Texas, which is very unusual. Is he portable right up in the northeast of the USA, and is it like a weird triple hop sporadic E, something like that? And he kept on saying KI6 Lima Tango portable, then another /. And I'm thinking, whoa, hang on a minute here. Then I suddenly caught it, Zulu Delta 8, which is Ascension Island, and I've never worked Ascension Island. Now, if he'd have done Zulu Delta 8/KI6LT, bang, I would have got him. But the fact that he was using KI6LT, Texas, then he was doing /portable, right, he's not in Texas, and then because he was only about a 3 and 1 to me, it's very difficult to pick out the ZD8. But tick the box, I've got him in. I've worked Ascension Island, as I say, not big on chasing DX, but when DX chases you, and he was persistent to get me, and that's why I think I might have posted it in the WhatsApp. Look, I'm going QRT basically. I've released a frequency to him. He was still weak to me, and I could hear him working other stations, but he was struggling to work those stations. So yeah, that ticked the box. Ascension Island, and I've worked a few of them down there now, the mid-Atlantic way, the usual St Helena and whatever. And I've even worked that Oddball off of Brazil. It's a nature reserve, and only about 10 people are allowed on it per year, and it's Diego de Noria or some weird name like that, but it's Brazilian owned, but it's this uninhabited nature reserve. I got that one, I think that was on 20 metres actually, some years ago. So there you go. Anyway, I'll let you go and hit the off switches. That's what you're going to do. I'll then listen, see if anyone pops up, and if no one does, looking at the time of day now, what's the time? It's 5:30 now. Might go down and see what I can rustle up for dinner. And I've got some homemade wine, blackberry wine, in the fridge. I opened the bottle the other day, so that's got my name on it. I think I'm going to pour myself a nice glass of ice cold blackberry wine, see what's in the cupboard or the freezer or the fridge or whatever, rustle up some dinner. So G3RGS M0JCF, have a great weekend, Dave, and I'll keep you updated with the news and views as and when. Cheers, mate, back to you.
Yeah, cheers, Mark, from G3RGS. Yeah, actually, I always find your notes interesting. They're very useful, actually. Gives you a good view of what's going on the WhatsApp app and so on. So I always have a look at your notes. It keeps me up to things without having to read some of the other stuff that comes out, weeks later. So thank you for that. Keep it up. Yeah, okay, on the wine, that sounds great, mate. That sounds really good. And it makes you think, what have we got in our fridge? Well, you've got a lot going on now. Yeah, okay, on the KI6, yeah, I did actually see a note on that. It was interesting. And it's funny how some of the stations use a slash, the country identifier they're in before the call sign, and others use it afterwards, especially if they're not portable. I've seen it both ways, so it gets a bit confusing, doesn't it? There you go. Yeah, okay, on the long wire, like you, I started up with the long wire as well for a long while, and I use it a lot now, although it's down at the moment. But it's a great piece of stuff to get. I can get this one up about 150 CDs in total, or maybe a bit shorter than that. But it does load up nicely on top band, and is well worth well worth the effort. But having said that, it is down at the moment. Anyway, I won't go through all of it again. Nice to talk to you, mate. You're always interesting, and keep up the information pieces you put on that WhatsApp. I do find it very useful to get a real-time info of what's going on. Cheers for now. Look after yourself. See you at the next club meeting, I hope. M0JCF, GCRGS. Cheers, Mark.
You're welcome, Dave. And one other thing, one passing comment. If you don't hear me on SSB, but I am reporting, I can hear sporadic or working sporadic E, have a look at me on 28680. And if you can hear a really strong slow scan TV picture coming through, that's most likely me. And just give us a report on that if you get round to it. But I don't know if you're a slow scan TV man. I do it for fun, not for the technical side, as you might have gathered from my chat. Cheers, mate. Bye-bye for now.
Actually, that was a really interesting chat, and I've never ever done anything on slow scan, but I'm going to download those apps. I'm even happy to buy one, because I've got an iPhone here, and I could do it on my PC. So I'm definitely going to have a look at that, mate. It's really caught my interest, so many thanks for that. That was really, really useful. One of the best talks we've had for a long while. Cheers for now. Look after yourself. G3RGS. Cheers, Mark.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Well, it'll be in QUA as well, so if you need notes to back it up, what I was talking about, it'll all be in there, and then there'll be a second article on physically how to do it. I didn't put that into this article. Take care, mate. Bye-bye. And thanks for the kind words. QRZ, Mike 0, Juliet, Charlie, Foxtrot, South East of England, listening 10.
Cheers, mate.
QRZ, M0, JCF. Okay, there's a big signal above me. I'll just check that. So M0 JCF is now QRT. This frequency is clear for use. Frequency clear for use.